Hello and welcome once again to Jacob's Toys. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. And we're taking a look at a Marvel Legends 2-pack in this video. Haven't done a Marvel Legends figure for a while, so I'm quite excited about this. This of course is the Iron Fist and Luke Cage 2-pack, the Heroes for Hire 2-pack. And it is all part of the Marvel celebration, celebrating 85 years of Marvel. Now, they've done 10, I think it was, in this complete series, and they're kind of drip feeding them out, and Luke Cage and Iron Fist obviously are the ones to land now. Now, I'm a little bit late to the party. I know a few people have already reviewed this, but do stick around because I've made a little bit of an adjustment to one of my figures that I think personally makes it a little bit better. But before we get into that, let's take a closer look at the figures. Now, as far as a 2-pack goes, this is what we've been asking for. When it comes to figures, we want the extra heads, we want the extra hands, we want the effect pieces, etc. And they have chocked it full of those things for us. So yeah, in my opinion, this is a good 2-pack. These, of course, are two characters that are highly kind of sought after and have been quite anticipated for a while. Although we did recently get a first appearance Luke Cage, this is much more his kind of modern version. So the kind of the normal t-shirt, the jeans, a little bit like how he was portrayed in the Netflix, which is now Disney, Defenders TV show, and of course the Luke Cage TV show. So the kind of modern look, which is pretty cool. And the thing that I like most about the Luke Cage, I mean, he's completely pinless. He's got the butterfly joints in the shoulders. But the thing I like most are these kind of knuckle dusters that say Luke Cage. The head sculpts are really nice. They are really good head sculpts. They are very detailed. Both of them are good. You've got kind of an angry expression face, like a shouting face, and kind of a standard sort of vanilla stance, shall we say, just kind of non-expression, no expression. Hand-wise, you get the open kind of hands, and you get the closed fist hands, which of course have those knuckle dusters on that are specific to this character. You wouldn't be able to use those hands on anything else. They say Luke and Cage across the knuckle dusters, just like they did in the comic books. And I think that's a nice little touch because, in all honesty, he's quite a boring figure. There's not kind of any special part of him. It's just a civilian clothed figure. Pretty standard. So to add the little detail of the Luke Cage knuckle dusters, to me personally was a nice touch, and I'm really pleased that they did do that. It makes this figure that little bit better. Now, I really do like that first appearance figure that we did get, but I do think this is my favourite Luke Cage that we've had in quite some time. I prefer the modern look. The original look is obviously quite cartoony. However, the original appearance look does go a little bit better with his counterpart in this 2-pack, which of course is Iron Fist. So let's move Luke Cage over and take a look at Iron Fist. Now, forgive me, I can't tell you exactly what appearance this is, but I think it's one of the older ones because of the high collar, the open chest, etc. But it could be a more modern one. I haven't read any Iron Fist comics for quite some time. But either way, it's an iconic look to Iron Fist. That green and that yellow, that kind of martial arts styled costume. And we've got a whole bunch of hands here, so you can get him in a load of different poses. Now, we have had previous martial art characters like Shang-Chi, comic book Shang-Chi, and he was the first one that appeared with loads of different hands with all these kind of new poses and new kind of configurations. And I think it's really good that they put them in with characters like Iron Fist because it allows you to have a lot of flexibility in your display. So however it is that you want to display this figure. He as well is pinless, and he's got toe articulation as well, which is a nice touch. He's got an ab crunch, an ab swivel, he's got butterfly joints, he's got double jointed elbows and knees. He is a very highly articulated figure, which is really cool. Again, you get two faces. You get that kind of vanilla kind of non-expression posed face, which is on him now, and you get the kind of angry, shouting, fighting kind of face. Like I said, you get a whole bunch of different hands. I really like these. I think there are actually a couple more that they didn't include in this one. I'll have to go back and look. And of course you get two effect pieces. Now the only disappointing thing about these effect pieces is we have had them quite a few times and they only go on the closed fist hand. So if you're going to use the effect pieces on your figure, then you're not going to be able to use all these cool kind of martial arty kind of hands. But I suppose it's Iron Fist, so you kind of want to have a bit of a kind of an effect piece coming out of one of his fists. Now, I think the shame of it is that they didn't include a glowing fist hand. Now we know that Hasbro have a lot of translucent hands, and I think it's a real shame that they didn't include one with him. Instead, you just got to kind of have this fire punch, which to me isn't really Iron Fist. I think about him with that glowing fist. So my modification is this, and it's a very simple one. There are a lot of figures that have translucent hands. One in particular is of course the Human Torch, and the more recent versions of Human Torch that we've had those closed fist hands with just kind of a little bit of a flicker, a little bit of a flame coming off of it, and I think that that would be a much better suited hand to put with this particular figure. The reason being, it is much more subtle. And there we go, that's it. It's translucent as well, so it lets the light through, and I think it's just much more in keeping with the particular kind of power that you associate with Iron Fist. You don't kind of, I mean, I suppose you do think of like a big flame fist. There's some kind of comic panels where it's a big effect piece going on, but I'm kind of tired of the same effect pieces, and I've seen these with a whole bunch of different characters and figures in different colours, and I just want something a little bit different, a little bit more unique for my Iron Fist. So this is what I'm going to use. I think this is the fist of the Human Torch, the recent retro one, I think. But yeah, I think it looks good. Either way, this is a really good 2-pack from Marvel Legends, and definitely well worth picking up if you're a fan of the Defenders, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, or just a collector of Marvel Legends in general. This is definitely a good 2-pack and well worth your money because you get a whole bunch of accessories in there. I'm going to have to dig out my recent Daredevil, and I'm fingers crossed for a new Jessica Jones. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I'll catch you soon.